Every man builds his world in his own image, he said. He has the power to choose, but no power to escape the necessity of choice. If he abdicates his power, he abdicates the status of man, and the grinding chaos of the irrational is what he achieves as his sphere of existence by his own choice. Ayn Rand wrote these words in her book Atlas Shrugged. It is a philosophical book based around her ideals of individualism. It's a great book and a great read. I've read it once or twice. Anyways, in these lines here, they really highlight some of what the core of individualism is to me. It shows that every man has to make their own choices, and if they don't, then they've pretty much given up their right to being called a man. This is really great, and I can totally agree with this statement. Let me tell you a personal story. I was in the 10th grade. I had just moved to a new school, and I had no friends. I chose not to do my work, and I suffered because of it. It was because of this choice to not do anything, the choice to not to choose, that I became less of a man. I became an animal. In my school life as well as my personal life, everything fell apart. I often felt like that I was the only one who was feeling anything. I was angry, and often lashed out with words and violence. But things then changed, and I calmed down, and I chose to change myself, and so I did, happily. It changed my life, and I'm more of a man now because of it. Now, let's discuss another core part of this story. Ted, you won't be the next one to go, she had asked him on his recent visit to New York. She had asked it trying to smile. He had answered grimly, "No, I hope not." "What do you mean you hope? Aren't you sure?" He had said slowly, heavily. "Dagny, I've always thought that I'd rather die than stop working. But so did the men who are gone. It seems impossible to me that I could ever want to quit. But a year ago, it seemed impossible that they ever could. I can't tell you what I'll do when I see it, whatever it is that they saw, when they went." It is this line here that illustrates one of the biggest fears in the entire book, not to mention in your life and mine, and it is that fear of not knowing what our choices will do to us or our friends in the future. Our fear of not knowing what will happen next. This is another core part of individualism. You are afraid to make the choice, but you make it anyways. And that's about all I have to say on the subject right now, because I'm starting to feel like I'm kind of ranting. So if you enjoyed this little tidbit, please subscribe for some more awesome videos. This has been Philosopher K, signing out for the afternoon.